It is a glorious moment to extend my warm wishes on behalf of SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Vadapalani. I want to convey my heartfelt gratitude to Pooja Harwal, a senior developer advocate from OpenWeaver. She has done her master's in computer science from IIIT Delhi, has worked on various research projects in the field of network security, network anonymity, and privacy information security. She worked as a research consultant at Air and research intern at Siemens Research Labs. Bangalore as a part of cloud computing research team. She was also a master trainer at EduNet Foundation. Now I leave the platform for her speech.
Uh, Thank you, Sandhya ma'am. And hello, everyone. Welcome to the first week of our virtual internship journey focusing on generative AI. We are thrilled to have you here, and our OpenWeaver team is eagerly awaiting the opportunity to connect with you. We highly encourage active participation in today's session as it will greatly enrich your learning experience. I would also like to express our sincere gratitude to Sangeeta ma'am for her exceptional efforts in organizing and facilitating this bootcamp. Without her dedication and support, this event wouldn't have been possible. Thank you, ma'am, once again for making this opportunity available to all of us. Let's have an engaging and productive session together. Over to you, Pooja. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you so much, Pranav. Uh, a very good evening and a warm welcome to today's bootcamp, where we will talk about generative AI. I am Pooja Agrawal, and I am a senior developer advocate with OpenWeaver. OpenWeaver is a SaaS technology company. We support over 1 million developers build the open source softwares. So our vision is to reinvent digital realization. Simply put, improve the way applications are built by investing in a unique combination of public domain knowledge and artificial intelligence. OpenWeaver is delivering ways to build the digital world of tomorrow. We have our tool, which we call Candy. And today, alongside as we develop a solution source, I will help you understand how you can develop millions of functions quickly. And you could integrate code for ChatGPT that we have discussed today, as well as you will be also able to create applications around email authentication. You would be able to also set up Stripe payments and do so many more such applications with the help of this tool that will enable you to make things easier. And actually, you'll be able to get the best fit recommendations through Candy without, or I would say, with any license compliance that you may want to check. So whenever you deploy an application for you know commercial purposes, it is very important that you check the license compliance as well as any vulnerabilities that the application may bring. So with every code snippet, a developer saves around 30 minutes to 6 hours of their time, which our tool Candy can provide. Candy signifies knowledge alongside with intelligence. So let's get into the journey now. Our virtual internship journey, which is launched this year itself, we have partnered with ICT and several other universities like VIT as well as SRM today. And we have this virtual internship available across 5 domains. It is data science. We have our virtual internship in AI engineering, generative AI, full stack development, and web development. For our sessions, we have, SRM has chosen generative AI. So we'll go ahead with generative AI for you guys. That's this week one that you have entered with us today. And we primarily want to skill you so that you are enabled enough for doing a complete hands-on skill-based project learning. So you will also get badge after completion of every week's activities. So every week we have exercises for you. We call them these coding exercises that there will be a simple set of coding exercise. I'll also guide you on how you can, complete these exercises quickly with the help of our tool called Candy. Okay. So after this completion, and as we check the exercises that you've done, you will get badges every week to support and augment whatever you have submitted. Next, yeah, thank you. So internship schedule. So today we would be having our first session, week one. Second would go through on the same Wednesday, timing would remain same. And then there is a week three where we try to give you a complete closure of the domain of generative AI. So today we will talk about ChatGPT, which is actually making the biggest buzz for this domain itself. But we'll also go a little ahead of it. We'll talk about voice to image. We'll talk about deep fake detection responsibly using artificial intelligence. Uh, All of that we'll talk about. So there'll be 3 boot camps. That will be 1 boot camp per week. We will do a few coding exercises. This will also be augmented with a project. And then there'll be a final assessment that you will have to finish to get to your internship completion certificate. Also, it's mandatory for all of you to participate in all boot camps. It's necessary to maintain your attendance. You need to complete the exercises that we will send you across through an email every week. And then only you'll be getting ahead with your final assessment and receiving your internship completion certificate. Also necessary to remember that you use only your college email ID for all purposes. Okay. Whatever ID that you are using for the very first time to register for the session, use that same college email ID to create your account on community platform. I'll help you guide with that as well. And it will be suitable if you use Windows 11 with Chrome for best results with our kids. And there is a dedicated support for OpenViewer, these sessions that we do onto our community platform. So you guys can uh, ask questions, put your queries in the chat, use the reply feature. I'll also guide you through that. But before that, let's set up some session rules so that you guys are aware how you have to follow through. So it is very important you are punctual. I see a couple of people still joining. It is very important that you are on time. That way you will not avoid anything that is necessary for the session. As you are joining through your laptops, you should check for the internet connection, and whatever software you are setting things up before the session, check it properly and then join. We encourage active participation. So it will be more than interesting to have engaging discussions with you. We are talking about the latest technology. Things are moving every day in artificial intelligence, and hence we have reached generative AI domain today. So my request would be you ask questions, you put your queries in the chat. If you would like to unmute yourself, I may ask you in between to also unmute yourself and do discussions. That way you can take advantage of the discussions that we are doing. We would want you to also have some interesting polls going forward. And also, I would request you to follow the instructions that I'm mentioning here so that you're able to submit your assignments. We are able to also get you the right responses and badges accordingly. If you have doubts, you can ask for clarifications. Just put your queries in the chat. Also, please minimize distraction. Find yourself a space there where you're sitting peacefully. It's a simple 60-minute boot camp session. Most of the other time would be taken to help you set up things, etc. But when we are talking about the concepts, when we are setting up the kit, it will be a 60-minute session. So I would request you to minimize any background noise, any distractions that you have. Give yourself this 1 hour, focus properly, and get yourself into a good space into the latest technology. Also, to remember the submissions, very necessary that you timely submit your submissions. We won't be able to extend dates. As we already mentioned in the submission form, what is the deadline for you to submit every week? So request you to respect the deadlines. And yes, I think it's done. Before we go ahead, if you want to ask anything, you can put it across in the chat, or else I will get into the agenda for today's session. So we'll talk about ChatGPT with awesome prompts today. And you guys have already used ChatGPT extensively, I believe, but even we'll try to look at it from a technological perspective. But as we look at it from the architectural aspect as well as the technology perspective, we'll also check what should be the suitable prompts or what kind of prompt engineering you should be doing so that you're able to take out the best from the similar kind of chat GPT that we have showcased you today. What model we are using to build up this conversation onto your local systems and how you can get the maximum benefit from it. But before I will get into the concepts, I would like you to set things up onto your systems. So for that, my colleague will share a link in the chat with you guys. We just wait her to share a link in the chat. And once she shares that link, okay, we have it here. Please go ahead and click on that link. Okay, I would also do the same. Just go ahead and click on the link. That link, which is in the chat, will take you to a dedicated page that is created for SRM Institute of Science and Technology. Another rule, please keep yourself on mute. This is very important that you respect respect the session enough to keep yourself on mute. It's in a virtual fashion. So all these would help us keep it diligently smooth for you guys. All right. So talking about this dedicated page that we have created specifically for SRM, this lists down the details on your week 1 of generative AI, what we will focus on, and how you could work around a solution today. What could be the learning objectives? Since it is our week 1 session, we try to keep it as basic as possible. We will try to familiarize with the architecture of the GPT model that is being used to develop ChatGPT. And also, we have a 10-minute tutorial section. So this section basically has this video that you can go ahead and revisit even post the session. Supposedly, you would like to just check how to set up the kit. You want to check what was there in the kit, what was the solution like. You just want to revise it, revisit it. So you can go ahead and check out the 10-minute tutorial section. And post that, you would see that there is a practical exercise section below. So this practical exercise section is what has our solution source for today. So I'll let you know what is this Candy One Click Kit and how it will help you get to set up your own chat GPT on your local systems today. And before that, there is also a section for your coding exercises. So this is your coding exercise section. It is mandatory for all of you to do these exercises so that later on, after you work on the complete week 3 project, etc., you will be able to receive your internship certificates. We'll also do a simple coding exercise that I'll showcase you in today's session. So let's get started now. By now, I believe you should all be under the practical exercise section. What is a Candy One Click Kit? So what we've done, we've set up the code, the required dependencies, all of those into a single click kit. So what we're going to do, as we go and click on this button that is available here, it takes you to a kit page. A Candy Kit is something where everything, your required dependencies, the space, let's say we are using Jupyter Notebook, or you're using Python, or you're using a particular requirement library, all those will automatically get downloaded for you. So that ease of setup of everything is what we are trying to provide you through these Candy One Click Kit. So let's go ahead. You can see that on this page, we have the deployment information as to what instructions you can follow if you're on a Windows system or if you're on a Linux or a Macintosh system. Also, there is a section specifically here for getting the secret key, your API key, so that you're able to access the OpenAI's platform. So for this complete kit that we are showcasing today, we would need to access the OpenAI platform. If you haven't heard of what OpenAI is, I guess you must have heard by now. It is the organization that has developed ChatGPT. And yeah, we will have to access it for this particular kit. So to get started, I'll click on the One Click Kit button, installer button here. This will download a zip file. I will just say show in folder. And as I say show in folder, I will have to extract this zip file, double click the folder, then I will find a batch file here, double click the batch file, you see a message. Since this is an executable file, hence Windows is prompting and asking you, do you recognize it? If you would like, you can scan it with your antivirus. And if you believe this is good to go, you can say more info, run anyway. So this will start setting up all the needed prerequisites and resources onto your systems directly. So you see that it is currently checking for a valid Python, etc. And since it is already present, it is skipping that setup. So let this setup happen. If it is prompting you to acknowledge and say yes for any setup, please do the needful. And in the meanwhile, you can minimize the screen. Do not close it, just minimize the screen and let this setup happen. Depending on your bandwidth, it may take around 5 to 7 minutes for you to set up the kit because it is a large, we are using the API, but again, for the couple of dependencies, it may take some time to get downloaded. So let it set up. In the meanwhile, we'll talk about the concepts for today's session. So before I head over to the concepts, I would want to also request you to please sign up on the community platform. Again, the reason to sign up on the platform is if you sign up, if you are signed in, you will be able to see that this chat feature gets activated for you. And also you can hit this reply button and put your query in case you have any query. Since this page is dedicated for you, we will know that you have asked for a query and we'll be able to respond to it within working hours. So first of all, quickly go and set up your account here. Just go, and if you already don't have an account, please click on login. And I mean, I have already had an account, so I'm just able to log in here. You should also sign up and sign in if you already have an account. And that way you will be able to use the chat feature for yourself as well. Okay. Should we sign in the platform using college ID? Yes, please. Thanks, Karthik, for asking that question. It will be suitable to use the same ID everywhere for submission, for registrations, for assignment submission, and sign up on the community platform. Do we have any other questions before we get started? All right. So I guess we should get started now with the discussion on to how generative AI as a whole has influenced our lives and what it has made of today. You know, what the world has witnessed in the couple of months has affected how businesses work, how jobs work. But before we talk about all that, we want to understand what its technology holds for us. So as students, you should understand that generative AI is a revolutionary technology because it is a zero shot model that it works on, wherein there are two neural networks and these compete with one another in a way that they try to give us the best expected response. And whatever content that you are trying to get response for, it is completely original. So it's not like, they are picking something from the web. They have been trained on a lot of data that has been big data that has been taken from the internet, but they've been utilizing it to converse like a human to actually generate original content and answer every query of yours step by step. So that is why this is called a conversational dialogue with the machine. And this conversational dialogue, why ChatGPT has been able to conquer Google search? Because even in a Google search, where you are trying to get to the most relevant results based on the keyword, it is not still able to get you to the exact answer to your query. However, if you provide the required prompts to ChatGPT, it is able to give you the expected response. So you see that this generative AI solution or the technology has applications not just in, let's say, helping techies, but it is also able to help people in art, in music. You are able to do a lot of natural language processing. You are able to do data synthesis. People are able to create rap music. People are able to create poems. People are able to create arts. So our session 2 is about how you can create your, pictures with the help of voice. So we use different OpenAI models in that. But talking to you guys as of now, I want to understand what generative AI tools have you used up till now? What tools have you used? You know, have you used any automatic presentation tools, automatic, you know, uh, apart from ChatGPT? So there are two requests for sharing the link again. So Sandhya, please do the needful. Share the link for the community platform. I mean, the SRM page once again. Yes, you can download it on the Macintosh OS as well. The instructions are listed in the deployment information on the kit page. All right. Coming back, I just expect some more response from you guys. I hope you. How many of you have used Bard? This is something by Google. Have you tried experimenting with Bard? If not, you may go ahead and check it out. Then there is various other similar chatbots, but I would also suggest there are tools where you can automatically generate presentations like Kama. You can automatically generate music. That's already there. It's flourishing. You just have to do a quick search, and all these tools would be available. So there are other generative AI models where we'll talk about DALL-E and Stable Diffusion. So what is DALL-E and Stable Diffusion? These help in generating images. You must have heard of Mid Journey. How many of you have heard of Mid Journey? Okay, Karthik says yes. Possibly he's heard of Bard. But yeah, Mid Journey, if you haven't used till now, create an account. It will help you create realistic images through generative AI, through artificial intelligence. Let's call it artificial intelligence. So we want to talk about ChatGPT, which is your large language model for today. And it is based on the transformer architecture. So transformer is a very interesting and very important framework for natural language processing tasks, where it has been trained on a large amount of language data, human spoken languages in English, in French, in Spanish, in Russian. So most of the different languages, you see that ChatGPT is available in various amounts of languages, and it can help you with your local language, your spoken language also. It can communicate with your parents. It can help farmers communicate in local languages and provide answers. So how is that possible? What is backing it? It is the transformer architecture model. You would have heard of BERT. If not, then it's again a pre-trained transformer model where you convert everything that is in a human language form into a mathematical vector form. And that mathematical vector is what machine understands. Every vector is relative to a word, or let's say a token that you have spoken. So in natural language processing, we have our words in the form of tokens. Your chat GPT, your virtual assistants, these machine models, they will always analyze the tokens. Okay. So we want to talk about the data set that it has been trained on. It is a massive amount of internet text data, which is why it is able to generate human-like responses to most of our language prompts that we try to put in. So you may have tried asking the weirdest of questions from ChatGPT. It will help you act as a counselor, as a trainer, sports trainer, as a travel counselor. It can do most of the things that multiple humans would be required to answer your queries with. So that's why we're talking about this interesting tool today, and how you can actually create the solution in some couple of functions. So what are the features of ChatGPT? It can help you generate language. Supposedly, I want to write an essay, I wanted to write a story, I want to write a book. All of it, you see, people are doing very quickly with ChatGPT. It can do your question answering. You keep asking questions, it will answer all the questions for you, best possible answers. There is a text that you would like to get completed. It will complete statements for you. If you want to change into some other language, it will give the translation. If you would like to summarize a book, it will summarize as much as data if required for you. So we know that there has been Netflix, Facebook, various other tools. What is so special about its evolution that this tool ChatGPT, other platforms like Netflix, Facebook, Spotify, I've put up in the order. If you see, Netflix took 3.5 years to reach these billions of users. Facebook took 10 months, but your chat GPT took just 5 days. So the amount of success that the owners, or let's say the creators of this platform could understand was massive. You could actually reach that amount of users in just 5 days. So it was developed by OpenAI and launched in last November 2022. And we see that this has been built on top of a generative pre-trained transformer model that I was talking about recently. And even in that, it is not just a single model, let's say the GPT-3, but it contains various combinations of text, code, Da Vinci models. We'll also be using a Da Vinci model today. And how do I work around with the ChatGPT? You just have to give it as initial text prompt. So why are we calling this term, or we are just asking questions? So there's a terminology that has been floated, which is called prompt engineering, and we will try to focus more on it because going forward, we see that it is very important that you are able to put your query properly across. If you're able to put the question properly, you would be able to get the expected response. So how does, what is the architecture of this tool? Uh, so basically, if I talk about a process, there is transfer reinforcement learning, which is the fourth step. But even before we are able to go for the transfer reinforcement learning, there is rollout, there is evaluation, and there is a step 3, which is optimization. So rollout is where your language model generates a response. Let's say my query is the movie is, it's an incomplete one. No, it gets through my language model, let's say GPT-2, generative pre-trained transformer model. And this movie, the response generated by my model is really great. So it tried to complete it, it tried to continue my query, which could be just start of a sentence. Then evaluation is where you get your query and response combined. Okay. So whatever has been provided as response, whatever has been my query, the query and response will go together, and then it will pass through, it will be evaluated with a function. Either it will be a model, human feedback would be required, or some combination of either human feedback, a function, or a model. Okay. It could be when we're saying classifier, a certain set of rules, or human. It could be any of the three combination of these two, any two. It could be anything. So what is the important thing in this process? When you are doing this evaluation at this second step, it should be able to process and yield a scalar value. When we say a scalar value, we want a positive reward value for each query response pair. That way, we are saying that your model is able to get, I said it's a zero shot detection or zero shot architecture that ChatGPT works on. So it tries to get you the most optimum evaluated result. So we get to the reward. What happens in the optimization step? We've already yielded a response, a reward response for the query and response. We received a reward. That means the model has been able to successfully get to the expected response. However, the optimization is the most complex part, where your query response pair that is used to calculate the log probability of the tokens. So I say this movie is really great. This is a combination of this movie. Maybe your is will be removed. Really great. Those will act as tokens, and then these token sequences is what this is used to train. That these token sequences are taken, and these the training is being performed on the machine, wherein we have a reference model also alongside. How do you do it? You see the LM at the bottom. There is an active model and there is a reference model. You calculate the log probabilities of the token. What is the possibility of these tokens, right? Importance of these tokens. You pass it, and then the model is trained alongside with a reference model. And this reference model is usually a pre-trained model, so that we can do fine tuning. So this reference model is already something which we believe that is able to achieve good amount of result. And then with the KL divergence between the two outputs, between the two log probabilities as well as the outputs, what we're trying to do, we try to get an additional reward signal along with the KL divergence. We try to get an additional reward signal to make sure the generated response don't deviate too far from the response. So we want that. Suppose I have asked a question from ChatGPT. Please mute yourself. Whoever's mic is on unmute. So yeah, so we just want that our model is able to get us to the most expected response. So we have to do proximal policy optimization. So step 4, where I was talking about the transfer reinforcement learning. If you want, you may not go into too much of optimization, but all those who are interested in building up something around a large language model, they can focus on this. So there is a reward signal, and there this reward signal makes sure that the generated response doesn't deviate too much from the reference language model, the LM at the bottom. And then the active language model is trained enough with proximal policy optimization, where we define what policy has to be followed. The whatever has been learning in the transfer model, that is being imposed also onto the active model. And that way, we are able to get our model that is being also developed. So what kind of outputs your ChatGPT can produce? You guys have already checked. It does produce currently when the unpaid version, it produces text output, right? It is a sibling model to your instruct GPT, which was trained to follow an instruction in a prompt and provide a detailed response. So it is similar to your instruct GPT, but pretty much higher in terms of the response and the quality of response that it can generate. So now let's quickly try and experiment with some interesting prompts. So let me just take you to the kit back again, and let us check that how is the kit functioning for us. So your kit should have reached here. You should have reached here by now. And you just have to say Y and enter. A Jupyter notebook will automatically open for you like this. Okay. A Jupyter notebook automatically opens for you. And here, if you see the notebook, I require a API key. Even in the second cell, what I require an API key. So while I was talking about that, we have, this page with the instructions, you see that I have also listed down instructions as to how you can get your secret key from OpenAI for access. So for that, you need an OpenAI account. If you don't have an account, sign up from here. If you already have an account, which you guys must have, it should not be an account older than 3 months, because OpenAI has become very smart. They are, monetizing most of the things. So when you click here, I wasn't signed up. Okay. And then you just sign up here. So since you went through the link that I had provided on the kit page, you would see that these are the different secret keys that have been created. And so there is rate limits and there is usage limits also. Check these usage limits. If you see that this account of mine also got expired. So students, if you feel that your chat GPT kit that we are discussing with you today doesn't work, you have to create a fresh account. Okay. Just paste it in the chat for you to check. Just check. If not, create a fresh account. Use your use anyone's either your father's or anyone's number, and then whoever's account is still working, you just have to create a new secret key. Right? Just say create a new secret key. Give it a name. Just give it a name. Key secret API. Okay. Important thing is to save it here itself. Create it, copy it. But as you copy this key, very important to keep it into a document. So just keep it into a document pasted here. Okay. Just paste it and keep it here. So for me, I would be using the one that still works, and I'll paste it here. Why I'm asking you to paste it? Because once you create and copy it, you won't be able to check it again. So if I go and ask for an edit key, I can edit the name, but I can't get the key back again. So very important that you paste it and keep it securely with you. Then I paste the key here and then ask my kernel to restart and run all. You could also just say run all cells. So this way, my model is ready to start giving me responses. So first of all, I will explain you what is happening in the code, and only then we will go ahead and check out the interesting prompts with ChatGPT. So if you see what we've done, first of all, we've imported the necessary libraries. Even before I discuss with you, I would like to quickly check a raise of hands as to how many of you are able to set up the kit alongside with me. Okay, Karthik says he wants us to repeat the process of key generation. So what you got to do, if you check the link that we have provided, if you have already signed up on the platform, you would see that if you scroll down under the practical exercise, click on this candy one, click it. You will have the page here. On the page, under the deployment information, if you don't have a OpenAI account, then you create an account first, please. If you already have an account, just click on OpenAI key here. Get your OpenAI key. You will get to this page. Still, if you don't get to this page, click on personal, say view API keys. Okay. Click on personal, say view API keys. Then click on create new secret key. So there is a limit on the number of keys that you can generate. So use them wisely and create a key, copy that key, paste it in a notebook, and then paste that key here where there is space provided for the key access. So I hope this was clear. And yeah, to check, awesome. Okay, Sriram has already been able to use it and also has got the output. I hope others are also able to follow alongside. It will be good to have all of you following this alongside. You can just use raise hand feature to acknowledge that you're able to quickly set up the kit. How many of you are able to set up the kit? Okay, thank you, ma'am. Others, you're able to set it up? Okay. If you have doubts, you can put those doubts in the chat. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Let's go ahead. So we first did import for operating system because that's required as we are using the API. Then we have the OpenAIs, the for access of the OpenAI's API. Gradio is used for interface. So if you see at the bottom, my solution, I can also open it in a fresh window here. So this is a simple interface that is being created. You can make it more interesting, colorful if you would like, with the help of Gradio. So that is the library that is being imported here. And then we have just fed the key. So there is a basic structure that is being there when you are working around with ChatGPT solutions or OpenAI access. We give a start sequence and we give a restart sequence that by default we have provided. And then comes in the prompt. So now in the prompt, by default, I'm telling the, my virtual agent that this is a conversation with an AI assistant, and I'm telling the behavior of my assistant here. What kind of assistant I am. I'm saying that the assistant is helpful, it's creative, clever, and very friendly. So I'm keeping it completely, simplistic and friendly. And from a human perspective, what I am mentioning here, hello, who are you? The bot will mention I am an AI created by OpenAI. How can I help you today? So if you see, all this is listed down here. Okay, this is just displayed in the box here and the, where you can put your query as well. Then comes in a very important function. One is your OpenAI create and another is your ChatGPT clone. So what are these two functions doing? First, we will discuss the OpenAI create. This is the prime function, which is helping us to get to the response. I am putting my prompt across as a parameter here. And within this, we are calling the OpenAI's completion.create function. So when we call upon this create method, it has various parameters. One is model, another is prompt. And then there are various parameters such as maximum number of tokens that you would like to get your response in. So that basically limits the usage. If you check on OpenAI's platform, there is a limit that they've set on the number of calls that you will do, and it will generate the response. So whatever is the response generated, the words, okay, those are tokens. So maximum tokens, we can increase it also. And there is a parameter called top P that helps in making the response more diverse. Okay, there is a frequency penalty, there is a presence penalty. So we let these parameters be, and then there is a stop with the human and AI as the two parameters within it. So talking primarily about the model, we have used Text DaVinci 003. if you go and check out on the platform, so there is GPT 3.5 Turbo. There is so many for chat that are available. For text, these start from ADA, and if you see, this is the response per minute, and the costing, etc. If you go down, there comes DaVinci. So DaVinci Instruct Beta and various others are there. We are using the text DaVinci 003. So you could also experiment with the other models if you think that you are able to set the kit accordingly, and then this is able to give us a decent response. Return us the response based on whatever we have given as prompt to it. So it basically starts from here. The interesting part about this model is, what is so interesting about ChatGPT? Only it gives us response, but then it also retains history. The most important thing is it will know the context of the conversation. Suppose I'll show you in the prompts that how ChatGPT is more interesting. It will remember what conversation I last did with it. So that is what we are also using here, history as one of the parameters. Initially, either we have a history or either it's an empty list. Then we want to sum all of it together and save it in S. Then you append this to the input that is being provided. So next, whatever query is coming from the user. And lastly, whatever the response was generated based on the query, all that gets appended. I mean, we are then using it. We are using join to add it. Then you call your OpenAI create function method. Okay, here. And this is the input that has been captured from user. Accordingly, from this method, you get the response, which is saved in the output. The history is appended and input and output is accordingly uh, given out. And then what are you getting as output here? The history as well as the history. So basically, whatever I will show you, so this is just for the UI part, whatever is showcased here, right? This chatbot, this text box, this heading. So this is basically in the block form. We want to get the response. The heading is here. Then you have both the chatbot as well as the text box, message box. We are also storing the state. We have a button here, send. So for that, we are using gr.button. Then on clicking what we are saying, the code should enter ChatGPT_flow, this method. And then we also say inputs are message as well as the state, and outputs are your chatbot's response as well as the state. So now quickly, I want to check for a query. Let me give it a first query from here. I'll just copy paste it rather than typing. So I asked it to correct it. Create a Twitter post. Suppose I'm a marketing person and I want to create a Twitter post for OpenViewer winning award at NASCOM events for the best SME platform. So I just want to check what it is going to give me a response and just send the query here. And then I would see that it is also able to give these hashtags, hashtag, hash innovation, hash small business, all of this, right? Congratulations, OpenViewer, for winning the NASCOM award, etc., etc. So this is one of the marketing things. You could test this platform beyond this. Suppose I was saying that it is able to retain history. So let me check a very simple one. I would say, what is the meaning of harbinger? So all these responses are showcased to you in the form of blocks. So we can choose blocks, and there is also other mode in which your Gradio will showcase you the interface. So let's say I say, what is harbinger? I push a question mark here and say send. So it will say the meaning, it refers to something or someone that serves as a sign or warning of something to come. Okay? Seen as a something of hope, portending good things in the future. So now I will do something that can showcase me that it is able to retain history. I won't write anything. I would just say, can you give me synonyms? So since it is able to keep history of my conversation, it knows this is what last I was talking about. So it will give me synonyms for this word, even without putting it across in the query here. So it's giving omen, sign, portent, prognostic, indication, propensity, etc. So that's how the model is a bit powerful. You are able to put it across with very two simple functions. There was nothing in those functions. We are accessing the API, OpenAI API, and that is how we are getting the response. So a couple of you, if the model doesn't run, you need to get an account where your account has not expired. Okay. Let's say I ask it to write a blog post. Let me say, no, I don't want 100 word. Let's say a 50 word self blog post on generative AI, and it should be able to generate some 50-word blog post here. It's saying changing the way we interact with technology, computers generate data or products. I hope my output is visible. I will just increase it. Right. What else? Let me also showcase you a bit more powerful type of a prompt. So what is important is your query. So we wrote a query like make a song, even if you want song or poem or a verse about a programmer and someone who isn't a programmer. Let's check what kind of so it showcases me. There's a difference between a programmer and non-programmer. The former deals with logic and writes in code, while the later is still exploring. So I basically asked about a song. Let's see their knowledge mode. So how is it making? But don't forget, both have something to bring. One an innovator, and other the dreamer. Together they create better things. So yeah, we could ask it to make it more, interesting, rhyming. It tries to do that, all of that. And we can ask it for a bigger information of sorts. So this one is interesting, where you can ask it to help you as a travel guide, right? You can ask it to act, you know, this is what is prompt engineering, where you can ask it to act as a travel guide. I want you to act as a travel guide. So what kind of a travel guide? I'll write you by location. You will suggest a place to visit near my location. In some cases, I will also give you the type of places I will visit. So let's say we are giving it instructions as of now. You will also suggest me places of similar type that are close to my first location. So the first suggestion or request is I am in Istanbul and I want to visit only museums. So let's see. And it is saying if you're in Istanbul and want to visit museums, you should check out the following places. So then it is listed down: Pera Museum, Istanbul Archaeology, etc., etc. Right? Different museums, similar sort of places. It is suggesting me here. All of these museums are located within 5 kilometers of your location and offer a variety of exhibition and experiences. Enjoy exploring. So yeah, interesting response from it. We could also ask it for something as simple as, you know, uh, let's say I ask it for top 10 most recipes searched in India in 2023. Let's see. So it's biryani, samosa, and pav bhaji, whatever, right? It's trying to give me accordingly the 10 recipes as well. So yeah, you can actually try to get responses, but very important, your prompt is good enough. If your query is not good enough, then there may be a chance you're not getting the expected response. Also, this is a clone version, so don't expect too much. It'll give you as much as possible, but then you could also there are limits, right? There are rate limits as well. So if you see the usage, if we try to showcase you the usage here for whatever you are using in your uh, queries. So that's why this is based on an API access that we are doing with OpenAI. So now I would want to quickly, get your questions on this topic now. Let's have some queries. I think we have some in the chat. Okay. So a couple of you ask, can you post the code here? So Lalit, that won't be an interesting thing. We would suggest you to download the requirements and then only the code will be helpful. Code has not opened for me. I have Jupyter Notebook installed and I have run the .bat file. So Shashank, it will be good if you share the screen and showcase me the process. Is your C drive free? The C drive should not be full. You can share screen and we can discuss it here itself. Let's check together. Shashank, can you unmute yourself, please? Let's check what error it is coming. Sure.
1 second.
Yeah. You can share your screen. We can do it together. Okay. I think it's still loading. Yeah. Now I can see. Since C candidates, you can just open the log file. Yeah. We will go down. Okay. Unable to process. Integrate process. Okay. Can you minimize that small window? This small window, the right.
Is it this one?
The small one. Not the log file, just the meeting now. Yeah, this one. Just minimize this to your taskbar. We'll go back to the log file, please. Okay. Let's check. Unable to create process. Okay, pip install upgrade. Setup tools wheel. Okay. Go down. Your repo got downloaded. Down again. Okay. Go down. So your Jupyter notebook did not open automatically, right?
No, ma'am.
So my suggestion is, one thing is it is saying the pip version. If we can just upgrade the pip version, but that shouldn't be a problem. Probably. What Windows you are on, Shashank?
Windows 11.
Okay. And apart from Windows 11, it should be Chrome that you use to set up from the browser, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And your network. Is it a Geo network?
No, it's Airtel.
It is Airtel. Then it shouldn't be a problem. So, okay, your Python version, which is already set up, is 3.11.
How will I check?
Go to the command line, CMD. Yeah, let it come. Just say Python. And enter. No, it is 3.9.2. Okay. So the good thing is we need to, I believe, upgrade the Python version.
Okay.
This is with pip only. Upgradation of pip should help. Let me give you a command. Just run it and then that should help. Can you delete and reinstall once again? Entire repository from the C drive?
Okay, no.
From the C drive, just delete all of it. Delete the candidates itself. And I think the Python version, you're doing anything specific on this version?
No, ma'am.
He's not doing. So I think if you reinstall Python also, that will help. Go to the C drive once again. Oh, you have it here. Let's say, just say yes. Let's see. Let's see if it opens now or not. Is it because of Python incompatibility? Say yes. Enter. So we'll just go to the C drive. Let the Python version go to the C drive where you have your, yeah, even your C drive is full.
Oh, yes.
We need space in C drive.
How much?
This model should be around 2 to 3 GBs because of the dependencies. Can you clean it up a bit and then set this up? Then it won't give you an error.
There's 7 gigs free now.
Yeah, but then still C drive needs a lot of space to run, right?
Okay.
Python version is okay. So little bit, just go for little bit 2 to 3 GBs. At least 15 GB is needed, because it is your primary drive, C drive is, and we are creating a virtual environment. That is why this is happening.
Is there a way to install it in another drive?
Yeah. No. Because we try to add it in your C drive, it is automatically getting set up. Can you uninstall a couple of other softwares which are not necessary? That way it will run. We need space in C drive. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try it.
It will surely resolve this issue. It is because of space. It is not able to get, set up.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thanks, Shashank. We have issues with Divya. Yes, Divya, you're right. So this is the clone of OpenAI, and it has data trained till 2021. So quick one, you can ask the question around 2022, and it won't be able to answer. Perfect. But then they are upgrading. So I'm not sure, they haven't released any information whether they have upgraded the model at all for the free ones. If you ask it about the football, I think World Cup or something, then it won't be able to answer. So good question, Divya. Karthikeyan, you have, for me, after I opened the zip file and run the file, it says cannot find the path specified. Can you share screen and show, Karthik?
Yeah, 1 minute now. Now it's coming like this only.
Including the system file. Okay. So let's go to the C drive, please.
Just a minute now. It's there's a file for candidates. No?
Yeah, there's a file for candidates. I want to first see your C drive also once for space. We'll check it. I think it should have space. Yeah, perfect. Let's go ahead. Indicates, okay. Build your own chat GPT. Click on that. So what is the problem? It is saying, yeah, run file. Okay, it is not even running. Karthik,
Ma'am, but it's not coming, ma'am. Like
yeah. Let's check the log file. Let's check the log file. Started and it says. Scroll more. A bit more. Received. It's installing the packages, setup tools. The warning suppression that happened path after custom installation. Go a bit down. More down. Okay, more. Okay. All right. More down. So it's able to do all of this setup. Okay.
I just didn't get the more like the pop-up where to say yes or no, ma'am.
Okay. Let's just
It's
go
the
to
end.
end. Go to the end. Go to the end.
Yeah, this is the end, ma'am. I
Okay.
ran it 2 times, but
You ran it 2 times. I think the setup was not complete.
no,
I
ma'am. For the
see.
first time itself, it was the same thing. So I closed it and ran it again, but it showed the same.
I mean, you say that it wasn't completed or it was completed.
No, it said the path cannot find the path. Didn't find that. That's
So
the thing.
you'll have to delete this and just start just check by running manually. Let's check by running manually. Let's go to activating the environment. You go to the top bar, say CMD, like this PC, Windows, Candy. Click somewhere on the side. Ahead of build your GPT. Ahead of build your no in that same path.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, now, ma'am.
Yeah. Go in build your own chat GPT folder also. Yeah. Now go to the top bar. The URL bar. No, not here. Go outside of it, please. Yeah. Go back. Just I want you to have yeah, perfect. Now say CMD. Don't click, please. Just go in the top bar and write CMD. Not here. The path is not correct. Go back first. Go back first. See Candy Kids, build your own chat GPT. In that you write.
Ma'am, should I go back to
One more time back. Yeah, one more time you go back, please.
That's the Windows, ma'am.
Yeah. So now write CMD at the top. Just type CMD.
Yeah, ma'am.
Oh, no. We'll have to do it from scratch then. No problem. Just go to Candy Kids folder once again. Nothing. Double click Candy Kids. Go to your.
You mean to copy the path?
Just say now. Yeah. I wanted the path, but now you just say CMD and enter. Yeah. Okay. So now you just write CD space build BUILD. Press tab. D. It's not T, it's D. Press tab. Enter. Okay. Now you have to get into the environment. So just say build itself. BUILD. Right. I'll just think it will be no itself. I meant you don't have to type itself. Wait, let me share it in the chat for you so that it becomes easier. Remove the itself. Remove the itself, please.
Yeah, I removed it now.
Yeah. Sorry, maybe you didn't understand what I'm saying. There's a command that I have typed in the chat. Pick it up from there.
The whole command, ma'am.
Yeah.
Should I paste it in build, ma'am?
Yes, please paste. Yes. No. Remove the build. Remove the build also in the starting. And then paste it and run it.
It's coming like this.
Okay, you are in the environment now. So just say scripts activate.batch. Just Jupyter Notebook now. Yeah, now Jupyter, I'll just give you the command for this also. Okay, paste this and press enter, what I have written in the chat. Enter. Now you should be able to use it through Chrome. Okay.
Yeah, it's opening.
Yeah. Okay. Now you go to your ChatGPT environment. Yeah, click there. Click on the env, ChatGPT -env. Click there. Scripts. Wait, I'll give you the. Oh, your repo did not get downloaded. That means. All right. So the repository is not. You're on a geo file, Karthik?
No, mine is. I have Act, ma'am. Right now I'm using Act.
Act network. So what you got to do, I have pasted these two commands. Just delete and download the fresh copy since you re-download it on the same copy. So there is a chance of overwriting that has happened and the entire repository didn't got downloaded. We have already checked it, right? The notebook is opening. I mean, the Jupyter is already set up for you, Jupyter notebook. Only the repository is left to get downloaded. Can you just delete it from C and re-download once and let me know?
Ma'am, from C means you mean to delete this
Candy Kits.
Candy Kits folder.
Yeah.
So I should delete it and I should run that file again.
Sure, I'll help you if you would like. Delete this Candy Kits folder. Okay. And then you go into that same, I think in the downloads, you will have your kit installer.
Yeah, just a minute.
I also want you to set up your network actually. Somehow, I believe your DNS server, because of Act network, is restricting a repo download from GitHub. Only for Geo and Act it happens, not for Airtel. But
I'll try to switch. I have Airtel too, ma'am. I will switch on that and try.
Oh, no, but I'll help you set everything on this network itself. If you go to the settings, that'll help anyone else also who's there. If you go to the system settings in the Windows.
Just a minute, ma'am. It's not deleting. Let me just.
Yeah. Take your time. I'll show it in my system in the meanwhile. Karthik, if you will stop sharing, I'll share and show to everyone.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Karthik. This should resolve for you. But in case there's still trouble, you could help. I mean, you can ask us. We will be here to help. So if you go into the settings and then you go into the network, within the network, you would see that there are advanced network settings. In the advanced network settings, you just need to set up your DNS. Go to the Wi-Fi settings, view additional properties. In the view additional properties, advanced network settings, you just check for your DNS server. Okay, IPv4 DNS server. If not, say just switch to manual and then say 8.8.8. Okay, just say preferred DNS as 8.8.8. And you can also enter the alternate DNS as 8.8.4.4. Can you do that, Karthik? And check. And anyone who is having trouble downloading the repository should just make this change. Let me know if you would want me to repeat this instruction. You just have to go into your network and internet settings, advanced network settings, edit the DNS settings from automatic to manual, set the preferred DNS as 8.8.8.8 and your alternate DNS also as 8.8.4.4 and just save it. This should be helping you set the kit up just in case if you are on a Geo or an Act network. Okay.
Ma'am, should I try this and delete
Yes,
those
yes.
things? Or
Delete all the things and then set it up after you have set up the DNS. If you would like, I can
okay.
help you, guide you now also. If it's still
Well,
not
I'll
clear.
try it again. Ma'am, I'll try and say, ma'am.
Sure, sure. The DNS settings, you need any help? Anyone needs any help setting up the DNS server? Okay. I believe it is good to go. Are there any more doubts? There could be doubts with the API access also. Within the Jupyter notebook, when you say run all, there could be a chance that your accounts are older than 3 months. Then you will need to create either a fresh key or you have to create a complete fresh OpenAI account. So that could be also one of the issues. So I hope this was clear. Is there any other doubts that you guys have from this session? I'll take it as a no for others. And how many of you were able to set the kit up successfully? Okay. Okay. More show of hands. It's good. All right. About what about others? Okay. Great. So okay. Perfect. So it does sometimes because of your network, because if they, geo restricts puts extra restrictions on the downloading from GitHub. So that's a geo and GitHub thing. Any another doubts that you may have, guys?
Ma'am, can you repeat that setting up the port, that DNS settings?
Sure. I'll help you out, Shruti, with that. So would you like to also, Shruti, should we do it for you? You share screen and we do it for you together. That'll help others also set it up. If you're on a geo network.
Ma'am, but my system doesn't have Teams installed, ma'am. I'm connected through mobile. That's why.
Okay. No problem. So, okay, one more, session rule. Please install Teams. That way we are also able to track each one of you as an attendance. It automatically counts you, okay? So just one more effort. Please install Teams onto your laptops. That way you are able to share screen. Yeah, you can use VS Code. Yes, absolutely. But then you will have to activate the virtual environment first if you use VS Code, Divya. Okay, talking about the doubt that Shruti asked, what you got to do, I'll share screen. I'll share screen and show. Okay. So what you got to do, just get into the settings of your system. And in the settings, you click on network and internet. And as you click on network and internet, you want to tackle with the Wi-Fi. And on the Wi-Fi, if you would like go for hardware properties, in the hardware properties, you have DNS server assignment. In the DNS server assignment, click on edit. And after that, you click on manual. Okay. If your settings are on automatic, click on manual. Activate the IPv4 and set the DNS server to 8.8.8. I will paste it in the chat. Okay. Paste it here.
Yes, ma'am.
8.8.8. And for convenience, let us also switch this off. Okay. DNS over HTTPS, just switch it off and set the alternate DNS also. For ease, alternate DNS. Let's put it to 8.8.4.4. All right. So set this up as well and then just say save. Okay. This will help you in case you are on a Geo or a ACK network. Rest, it shouldn't be an issue for you to download the repository. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure. Thanks, Shruti. Any other doubts that we may have for the session? So now I'll take you to a quick, glance what we did today and how you can work on the week 1 exercises as well. Okay. So for your week 1, what you got to do is you have your SRM Institute of Technology, Science and Technology page here with OpenViewer. You guys must have already signed up. So this feature would be active. You can keep asking doubts. it would be more good if you post your queries through reply button here. That way we are sure to, ensure that, quickly we should be responding to your queries. So our objective primarily was to understand a bit basics of generative AI and what the architecture of GPT model works like. And then we tried some relevant, awesome prompts that would help us get to a quick response on our systems directly. Okay, so that we did. You have a refresher here. Also, this is the kit that you guys should be using. For you, couple of you who had some issues, please read down the instructions that are listed down here. So we've also listed down instructions as to how you can open this kit after you have downloaded it once. Just get into the folder like I was showcasing. I'll show it once again here. Go into C, go into Candy Kits. This is my build your own chat GPT. I'll go into that. I'll click here, say CMD. Then I would just follow the instructions on the kit page. What does my kit page say? You just go into this directory. You can copy this command. What are we doing? We are activating a virtual environment. Okay, just activate this environment. You would see that this ChatGPT virtual environment gets activated here. Next instruction is to run the command to get into the folder. Get into this folder here and then say Jupyter notebook. So my notebook is already open. I open another instance by doing this. And then I can simply go and click on app.pynb. Okay, app.pynb. Pynb are for your Jupyter notebook. Py is for Python. If you would like, you can use VS Code, but then environment activation is important. That's it. So yes, I have explained you can follow these instructions and make it easy for you to open it manually later. And the instructions for API key access is also listed down here. Okay, after you have the kit and everything with you, you're able to run it, you have the solution source, comes in your exercises for week 1. So how do I do my week 1 exercises? So for doing your week 1 exercise, I want to introduce you to a very interesting tool called Candy. Okay, if you click on this Candy, this will take you to candy.openweaver.com. What is this Candy tool? This basically helps you search for functions, simple code snippets, libraries, and simplify your application development. So let's say I have a solution. I want to, create a simple tensor in PyTorch today. Okay. I want to create a simple tensor. This is something for you to look for. That's why we have pasted here. I want to create a tensor in PyTorch. So what I will do, I will just say create a tensor in PyTorch. Okay. As I say that, I'll try to look for the relevant results. Let it make the search. You see that there are various code snippets that are available here. Okay. So I would see that what code snippet will be helpful for me. I would just, search for a snippet that is helpful. Paste that relevant snippet from here. Okay. Paste that relevant snippet from here. Let's say, I should pick a one that I can work on. You just paste that particular snippet here, tinker with the code, let's say, tinker with the code, and then just try and see if that runs for you. So good thing is, I just have to change my query and check out for a snippet. So we have linked this down here as an exercise for you to check out. Okay, we have just listed down here this as a link that you can also search and check post the session also for you. Okay, so how do you do the coding exercises? If I click on these coding exercise, a week 1 form on generative AI will open for me. You will have to finish all of these by Monday. Okay, and you will have to fill in the details, mention the name of your college, your name, your email ID, your phone number. Let's say you are in the 3rd year. My branch is CSE. Else is next. Then I'll mention I have to answer these 3 questions here correctly. And then what you have to do while you work with your coding exercises, add the code as well as a sample screenshot. Okay. Add the code and attach a sample screenshot of the output side by side, and then just attach it here. Just attach it here. Okay. Just take a snip of the screenshot of your Jupyter notebook. Let's say take a snip of the Jupyter notebook as well as the output, put it together, and then add it as a file here. Okay. Add it as a file here. That will act as a submission for your questions. So there are 5 questions that you have to do for week 1. Take help from candy.openviewer.com to search for the snippets. We'll also be sending you, all of this information in an email, right? So you can check out the email so that you're able to go through the exercises and finish it latest by Monday. So that is mentioned here. Yeah, and the first page of the form, you'll have to finish it by Monday, 10th July. Yeah, 6 p.m. Okay. So yeah, that's it from our end today. Do you have any more questions, students? Okay, it works for Karthik.
Yeah, ma'am, it's working now. But ma'am, can you just say one more? Like, how can I, after installation, this is basic, ma'am. So if I want to open it again, so can you tell me that part is one more, ma'am? Like you said to go to that folder and open the create your own this thing, and I should put CMD there, ma'am.
Yes, yes. I'll show you. I'll show you and make it easy for all of you. Suppose you already have the setup. Let's say I'll just close all of it. Okay. I'll close my notebook and I'll go to the C drive. In the C drive, I have my candy kits. I have build your own ChatGPT. I'll click that. Okay. As you go here, I was saying that in the search bar, just click and write CMD. That way I don't have to go into this path right from scratch. That's it. This makes it easy. So suppose you don't remember the instructions, go to your kit page, Candy Kits. The instructions are listed down here. After I have got into this build your own ChatGPT and opened the command line, I can just copy paste this command. ChatGPT env is environment. I want to run the scripts and activate the batch file. Okay. I will copy paste this directly here. Enter. And now I see I'm in the environment. Okay. Now I see I'm in the environment. If you want, you can just get into the folder by saying CD, build your own ChatGPT. I will get into this folder again. And now I will have to just type Jupyter notebook and press enter. So this will automatically open the notebook and I will click on app.pynb. I have my file here. Good to go, Karthik?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Got it.
All right. All right. And even if you want, here, I just mentioned each instruction is mentioned here. All this is mentioned here. Okay. How can you manually open? This is mentioned from instruction 3 till here. Okay. All right. Okay. Do we have any more questions? All right. I hope. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pooja. The session is really interesting. Actually, I listened, I downloaded parallelly. I don't know whether I can submit.
Absolutely, ma'am. This is very humble of you to say it. And even we are obliged as a team that, ma'am, you acknowledge and you actually like the session. And I'm also very happy that the students actively participated, because that is what motivates us also, The more you would ask, the more you explore, the better we'll be able to go through with very interesting tools that are available with OpenViewer and Candy. Ma'am, so yeah, that's very sweet of you to say that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Participants, we will meet in the next week.
Yeah. One more thing, ma'am, before we meet in the next week, guys, please set up teams. There are some session rules. I want you to be very focused. See, we could have finished in 50, 55 minutes. Now I want your attention. In 50-55 minutes, we do it nicely, and then we have so many questions to discuss. That way, it is good for you also. Going forward, you can build your own projects, and you could say, see, I've done a generative AI thing. And since all these kits are open source, so you are free to use these, utilize these, make changes, and showcase it as your own go-to-go solution source. Next week, we have a very interesting solution on voice to image. So guys, be prepared with, this geo network setup and all of that. If you have a query, we can still, connect with us on the community platform. Use the chat feature, use the reply button. We will be there to answer all your queries. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, students, for active participation. Good day.
Thank you, Pooja.
Thanks, team.
Thank you.